Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. And it's been a very long time since I've actually made an update about Quant, but I've been seeing a lot of discussions around QNT lately, and I've been seeing a lot of you guys commenting on my videos, asking me where's the QNT content, and ultimately I just haven't been really focused on QNT as of late. There's just been so much happening around the market while QNT has actually settled down. Real quick, just to kind of talk to you guys about price action on QNT. I've been just watching this trend ever since roughly around November. We had this little, I would say, local top on QNT back in October, roughly about $209. We sold off pretty deep, by the way, down to about like 104. I know it was like 103, 104. I've been watching the $104 level on QNT to see if we are going to hold that area before we do see much lower than $100. But I've been really kind of buying around like $100, $110 within that range. I have been waiting to see if we do come back down to roughly like $60, $80 on QNT, which is still a possibility. We're watching that level closely. That's where I do plan on buying heavy on QNT, by the way. But I do think that long term, listen, QNT is going to be one of, if not the largest crypto project out there. Because again, like as we do look at this project, you know, the possibilities are endless. I know that CoinMarketCap only has 81% of the supply here, but all of the supply is out there already. 33% less supply than Bitcoin. The utility of it. The utility scope of Quant is so much larger than Bitcoin could ever become in terms of utility. This is also why I've said Quant will be much larger than Bitcoin. I have zero doubt about that. Long term, QNT is going to be an absolute giant in this space, and we'll talk about why. So, one, let's talk a little bit about the FUD. So, I actually talked a little bit about this over on Twitter. Mainly, I was seeing a lot of FUD around QNT within not only the idea that, oh, they're not a part of the Digital Pound Foundation anymore, or hey, they're not this, they're not that. And we also do see the FUD around, is QNT ever even being utilized as a token, which we'll get to that here in a second as well. But mainly I said, I responded to some of the concerns. Overall, I still believe QNT will be much larger than what most believe. Some of the recent comments / overall concerns behind QNT have been questionable. This is why I personally am waiting until we see more clarification on some of the recent actions / events. Now, we didn't really get any clarification from the team themselves, meaning like public disclosures, but I don't think that they really care about what retail thinks. But we do see down here from Sun and L, they still are a big part of the DPF. Just Gilbert Verdian himself is taking a step back as leadership, by the way, aka be represent all the time. Ain't got time for that anymore. And yeah, I mean, mainly as we really kind of look at Gilbert Verdian himself, he still is a very large, component to the success of crypto. Why do I say that? Because of ISO TC 307. TC 307 is extremely large, which I've been discussing for a while on this channel. But I also did respond to some of the concerns. I even said, like, I wouldn't worry too much about the Digital Pound Foundation. It's a think tank organization, so its only goal is to create / build possible solutions for the digital pound that might be utilized. And then I even said, like, I responded to this question because they said, can you name one project built on Quant that both parties admit to, not partners? I said, I don't necessarily look at Quant as a platform projects are built on. Quant is building a gateway to crypto networks through an API. And yes, as we really kind of look at Quant, like, I don't really look at it as, oh, hey, projects are building out on Quant. No, I look at it as projects are connecting to Quant to bridge the gap between the traditional world of finance and digital world of finance. But also going back to the Digital Pound Foundation idea. So as we do look over here, going back to September of 2020, Quant was named a supplier on the UK government's CCS G Cloud 12 framework. This would essentially allow them to be connected within their entire marketplace in terms of their digital marketplace, but also even their infrastructure. For an example, we do see down here, the G Cloud framework allows public sector customers to buy commoditized cloud-based solutions through a framework that is compliant and regularly refreshed, allowing CCS to provide our customers with up-to-date innovative solutions. All services within the framework are visible within the online catalog, the digital marketplace, which you could find Quant on there. From today, all the UK government will have access to Quant's powerful technology that helps enterprises, governments, and individuals to unlock the true value of distributed ledger technologies, DLTs. And yes, this is huge. I've talked about it. I think that, this is much larger than the Digital Pound Foundation. Obviously, yes, I do think that the Digital Pound Foundation will play a vital role in the evolution of the digital pound. But as we do look at it, it's just a think tank company. So it's not like a big thing to me that Gilbert Verdian stepped down from that position. I mean, I still think that they are a big proponent for it. We even do see that over here from San NL. So again, it's not really a big worry to me. Also, to debunk the idea of QNT ever being utilized on Quant. And also, I guess I can do two at a time. Quant QNT as a token is an ERC20 token, but it is blockchain agnostic, meaning it can move to any blockchain out there. It doesn't need to be ERC20. Also, here we have utility tokens. What is the purpose of the QNT token? QNT is a utility token. It is used as a form of payment for Quant services, most notably as a way for Overledger users to pay their fees, as explained here. They do have a breakdown. Every developer and customer has to purchase a license and can also pay for transactions in QNT. Would you like to list QNT token on my crypto exchange? Thank you for your interest, but we have, by the way, this is their FAQ. If it does sound worded weird, but it's all good. Thank you for your interest, but we have no interest in promoting the token as a cryptocurrency. It is a utility token for the Quant ecosystem. It is used as a form of payment for Quant services, most notably as a way for Overledger users to pay their fees, as explained here. Why don't you provide more information about the QNT token? We are building enterprise-grade products and solutions aimed at financial institutions, governments, corporates, and the partners and developers who support them. The QNT token is an integral part of our platform, used most notably to pay for software licenses and sending transactions, but it's not the focus of our efforts. If you would like to make the best use of the token and contribute to the ecosystem, we encourage you to develop on Overledger and use any of our APIs. To do so, please sign up on Quant Connect, where you'll find extensive information about our products and how they work. So yeah, QNT is vital to their entire platform. Meaning anybody who is utilizing the platform, you'll essentially see network effects for the token itself. But also remember, there is so much more utility for QNT outside of this, which we've discussed many times in the past. I do think that QNT, like I said, if we actually look at the blockchain adoption cycle, and we look at the technology cycle as well around crypto and DLT, we are starting to see a lot of moves being made, not around just adoption, but also even regulatory obstacles, which once we do get those obstacles behind us, then we do see a door open for adoption, utility to be really kind of shined upon as well, which will ultimately change the direction of Quant. Now, when we do look at this, we also do focus on CBDCs. You guys know me, when I do talk about CBDCs, I don't really like them all that much, but it's not a question on if we like them or not. They are essentially on the rise. They're becoming a big thing. And why not get extremely wealthy off of CBDCs by investing into the technology that is essentially helping them become a realization? But we do see why is resilience so critical in CBDC implementations. Our CEO, Gilbert Verdian, offered his perspective to a Future of Finance panel recently. And listen closely to this quick minute and 20-second long video.
If a central bank decides we are implementing a CBDC tomorrow, we've done all the groundwork to get it live into the system. That's a minimum 3 to 5 year program, because there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be set up. There's a lot of integration with existing banks, and they all have to understand, what does this mean for us as a participant of this new financial system, and what it means for their consumers without any regulatory issues or security issues or otherwise. So for them to go live from day one, there's a lot of infrastructure testing, user acceptance testing, integration, and then finally going live. And then once it's live, that's when they actually start having the products that consumers and businesses start using. So it is a longer play, but you need that because you need to keep the system stable. You cannot have such a massive change within a payment system that can impact and cause outages to participants.
So yeah, to me personally, I do think that as we really kind of look at what's happening, I believe that Gilbert Verdian and the Quant team themselves are going to be an intricate part of this entire revolution around CBDCs. I also do think that CBDCs themselves are going to source the power of DLT, and the only way that they could really do that is if they are building out on private ledger technology. But the problem with that as well is interoperability comes up in question. In my opinion, Quant will be that source for that. They already described the idea of this and already built standards for this as well thoroughly. TC 307 is allowing DLT to be adopted in countries, not just small areas, but actual countries. So as we do look at that, I do think that as we look at the global scope of DLT adoption, a lot of these nations are extremely ready to utilize and source the power of digital assets and digital, just technology around financial use cases. But the problem is that there's still obstacles there waiting to get torn down. And I think that we are starting to see the evolution of that. I think that we're starting to see a big push towards that as well. I think 2022 was a big year for a lot of the regulatory actions to be really brought up. And I do think that this is the year where we are starting to see a lot of movement being taken place, but not within the US, which we've already reported on. I think the US is still dragging a lot of their things along. As we do look outside of the US, though, we are starting to see things taking place. And one place is the UK. And the UK, we know, is the home of Quant. And here you guys have a quick little video from Crypto Bob that reposted it.
We're here. We're a London fintech, and this is the epicenter of financial services. And what we really love about this conference is you have regulators, institutions, fintechs, and the public all in the one place, bringing together the epicenter of financial services again.
And what topic or theme was especially important for you guys today?
We're here because we're innovators in blockchain and interoperability, but more importantly, CBDCs. So we've been working with central banks to really innovate and bring together technology as a CBDC and what it means for a payment system or a financial system across the world.
And how does Quant relate to central bank digital currencies exactly?
We're the platform and the infrastructure that central banks and commercial banks can use to implement, pilot, and test CBDCs and tokenized assets in an interoperable way.
And so
we're here.
So if you did listen closely, they are essentially becoming the infrastructure for a lot of these CBDCs. And I do say that's their goal. That's their overall idea around what they want to become, especially for interoperability to be realized in. It's very similar to what we see over on their platform sector as well. When you actually look at the part of their website that breaks down Overledger and the entire platform, when you see the enterprise standard for building on blockchain, when you look at this, this is allowing the doors to open for all of blockchain technology and all, crypto DLT platforms, opening doors to the blockchain economy. Overledger establishes a new benchmark for blockchain interoperability and ease of use. And here we have tokenized funds and alternative assets, tokenized deposits, create next generation payment systems, build multi-DLT applications, and connect to multiple enterprise systems. And here we have the enterprise standard. So again, you do see ISO here, ISO TC 307. Then you also see the other ones here as well. From the team that spearheaded the blockchain ISO standard and created the world's first blockchain agnostic API gateway, Overledger puts technology previously only available to major financial institutions in your hands, empowering you to build for the new economy. Keyword there, new economy, or I should say keywords. But down here, we do see one platform, less complexity, more freedom. So we do see Overledger flows, Overledger APIs, Quant smart tokens, and then also multi-chain. Our wizard-like tool allows you to create secure smart tokens in under 3 minutes without any code and on any chain. This is huge because you don't need to learn code and you could issue out your tokens on any chain in 3 minutes. This is huge. Then also over here, Overledger APIs, connect your applications to the chains of your choice with our patent pending technology and build MDApps in 12 programming languages for universal interoperability. Then we do see Quant tokens or smart tokens. You can develop payment trials, issue stablecoins, and more with smart tokens that are chain agnostic, function rich, and with superior security. The multi-chain, we continuously invest in connecting you to more networks, opening new doors and opportunities because the future is multi-chain. Listen, there's not going to be one size fits all. So as we do look at the multi-chain future, Quant is allowing for this to actually take place and become a reality. And here you have a lot of those blockchains that are already tied to this. some of my favorite ones out there are already tied to this, like XRP and even XDC. You also have Hyperledger Fabric, which is a connection to massive enterprise companies out there. Same with even Hyperledger Basu. I believe that Hedera is working with Hyperledger Basu. And then we do see Avalanche there, Polygon, obviously 2 giants in the space, Polkadot, and then Ethereum and Bitcoin. And then you do see start your free trial today, and they actually break this down here as well in terms of interoperability, security, programmability, easy to use, resilient, adaptable, and all this kind of stuff. And they really can just market it to you, if you will. But this is the truth. Like, as we do look at blockchain technology, and if you think that your asset or your network or your DLT, whatever you want to call it, is going to be the next big thing, and it's going to be successful, and it's going to be massively adopted, I want you guys to understand that the big obstacle for that to actually be massively adopted, well, it's essentially interoperability. Interoperability is crucial for the adoption cycle of crypto and ultimately for the potential of these DLTs to be realized in. Without interoperability, guess what? It really is not going to reach its full potential. So Quant is vital to the evolution of this entire space. And as we do look at CBDCs, yeah, it's vital to CBDCs as well. So with that in place, I want to end off the video here by just describing the fact that CBDCs are here to stay. You know, I know that we've talked about CBDCs quite a bit on this channel. I'm not a huge fan of them, but as we do look at 2023, there has been over almost 4 pages of not only piloting, researching, proof of concepts, and all of that taking place. And this is becoming a big deal. So definitely focus on this area. Focus on the technologies that are playing a vital role in this as well, because those are going to be the ones that make you extremely wealthy. And I do believe that Quant is one of them. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm on free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter, as well as join the free Discord down in the description below. As hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.